They say blood ties are unbreakable. But sometimes cutting them is the only way to breathe again. My name's Elias. I'm 36, a single dad, a man who dragged himself out of the mud with nothing but grit, hunger, and the fire of a future I had to carve with bare hands. I didn't rise, I clawed, and the people who should have lifted me, they were the first ones to let me drown. I remember the exact moment my life split in two. I was 18, holding a letter that felt like freedom, acceptance to MIT, the kind of opportunity that doesn't knock twice. I walked into our worn-out house in Boise, heart-hammering, ready to share the news. But my parents didn't even look up. My mom's voice was flat. "Sit down." What came next shattered me. "We used your college fund for Clara," my dad said. Clara, my younger sister, the golden child, the artist, the dreamer. They sent her to a private academy in Boston and told me to figure it out. "You're smart. Take out loans." I left that night. Just a backpack, my old Ford, and the kind of silence that eats at you. Portland was brutal. I slept in that car for weeks, working whatever jobs I could land. Mornings in dishwater, afternoons in warehouses, nights behind gas station counters. I stole leftovers from dumpsters. Pride doesn't feed you. Hunger doesn't ask questions. But I kept moving. Community college during the day. Coding tutorials at night. Eventually, I got a shot, a low-level tech gig. I fought my way up. Now I manage projects, lead teams, earn six figures, and give my daughter Zoe the life I never had. She's 10 now, sharp, wild-hearted, full of wonder, builds rockets from cereal boxes, and asks if dragons ever really existed. She saved me. Every bedtime story I tell her is a shield, a promise. You'll never feel what I felt. And then, out of nowhere, the past called. It was my father. 16 years of silence. His voice cracked when he spoke. "Your mother's sick. We're losing the house. We need help." I should have hung up. But something in me, maybe spite, maybe curiosity, wanted to face him again. I packed Zoe into the car and drove back to the place I'd abandoned. The house was a skeleton of its former self. My dad looked worn down. My mother barely recognized me. But suddenly they were all smiles. "Zoe, you like to draw?" Fake sweetness, like they hadn't ignored her existence for a decade. And then came the truth. Clara had started an art gallery that crashed and burned. They'd mortgaged everything to save her dream. Now they needed $$280,000 from me. Before I could answer, Clara walked in like she owned the air. Still smug, still perfect. "So the tech bro shows up to be the hero?" she sneered. I didn't flinch. "I'll decide in 3 days." I called my friend Sam, lawyer, no nonsense. He said exactly what I feared. "They're using you again." His advice? Buy the house. Let them stay, but on paper it's yours. Set terms. Set boundaries. Protect Zoe. 3 days later, I returned with a contract. I'd pay off the debt. The house would be mine. They could stay if they repaid me within 4 years. My dad's eyes filled with tears. My mother looked like glass. Clara? She exploded. Called me heartless. Called me a monster. But they signed. I thought that was the end. I was wrong. A month later, I dropped by unannounced. Found a strange truck in the driveway. Inside, Clara on the couch with her new boyfriend, Derek. The place smelled like smoke and rot. My dad looked ashamed. Derek sized me up, cornered me in the kitchen. "Your little girl could use a real man around," he said. He said her name. I pinned him to the fridge before I even thought about it. "Mention her again," I said, "and you'll regret it." 2 weeks. That's what I gave them to get out. Clara retaliated the way cowards do. Online. She dug up an old photo of me and Zoe, stole it from my private account, and smeared me across the internet. Called me a thief. A bad father. Said I abandoned my daughter for money. It spread fast. People believed it. Even some co-workers. But the worst part? Zoe. Her teacher called. Playground fight. A kid repeated what Clara wrote. Zoe came home with a bruise and tears in her eyes. "Why does Aunt Clara hate us?" I held her tight. Because she's lost, baby. But we're not. The next morning, Clara and Derek got served eviction papers. She spit venom. You're just using your daughter to make yourself look good. I slapped her. I didn't plan to. I'd never done it before. But it landed. Hard. Say her name again, I said, and I'll make sure you never speak again. They left. My parents stayed. They're still in that house, scraping to pay what they owe. Clara? She's online, spinning lies to an audience that's shrinking by the day. I don't forgive them. I don't owe them. But I did something they never did for me. I gave Zoe a future, set up a trust. Every extra dollar I make goes into it. For her dreams, her MIT, her stars. And my parents, they stay, only if they remember which side they chose. I hired a nurse for my mom, not because of love, because I could, and because my daughter deserves to see compassion done right. Zoe and I are building something sacred, a home stitched with truth, trust, and the fire I carried all these years. And Clara? She's a name I no longer say, a shadow I walked through and left behind.